Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of the Real Estate SpeedCast. And we're going to talk about being a Redfin agent and what it means to us. Here's Juan.
Yes. Greetings, everyone. This is Juan Castro with Redfin. And yes, we're going to talk about what our world feels like that a customer may or may not know about.
Yeah, so day to day, we work for Redfin. So we are different, but the same as a traditional agent. Different in ways that we are W-2 employees, right?
Yes.
We don't pay for any of our expenses. Everything gets reimbursed, or it's just paid up front, like our MLS. Our We get health insurance,
Yes.
401k, really
Yes.
good. Transaction coordinators, listing coordinators, training. What else? What are the benefits you see?
Support agents. So when a customer has a question and they come into the Redfin ecosystem, our support agents are the first screen in order to comfort the customer on our process, our product, our people. And I think the key is support is going to connect the customer with the first and best available person for that type of service.
Right. And then you get a notification or an email or a text, and you're
Yeah,
connected to this customer now. Now it's up to you. Well, you're connected to a lead. It's up to you
correct.
to make that person our customer, right?
Yeah. And now it's our job to keep the customer and not lose the customer
Right.
because Redfin has earned the customer. Now our job is to do what we're supposed to do, which is just to perform according to what the customer's goals are, right? Their transition plan, help implement that plan.
Right.
And I think the important part is that most people that come into our world are sincerely working to buy or sell real estate.
Exactly. There's a
You
reason
know,
they called us, or there's a reason they're on our website.
yes, and they're looking for some answers, and they don't want to be sold, but they want to be served.
Right. They want to be helped.
Yeah, so
Really.
it's not timeshare.
Not timeshare. No, no. I've been
It's
there
not
before. So
it's
all it
not
is.
timeshare, it's
I
not the
have
car
been there.
dealer.
But
Yeah,
okay, so you have worked, I have not worked traditional real estate, like I'm not going to name a brokerage, but your everyday brokerages, Keller Williams,
yeah,
21, I guess I will name them. I've never done that. So I came to Florida in 2017. I got my real estate license. I did not use it until 2022 is when I started selling real estate with Redfin. So this is everything I know. It's the only thing that I know is the Redfin way of doing business. Now you
yeah.
came a long time ago though, because how long have you been with Redfin?
Almost 10 years, about 10
So,
years.
so 10 years you've been doing it this way with some changes, right? Because even in the 3 years
Sure.
that I'm here, we've gone through some growing and some changes, all positive. Um, so what do you feel the main difference from being your regular Keller Williams agent to
Sure.
a Redfin agent?
Well, fortunately, I've been with other brokerages and I've owned my own brokerages.
Right.
I think the key difference is when you're not at Redfin, you're basically alone.
You're alone. Right. Yeah. You're like on an
So
island somewhere.
the joy of Redfin for me is being able to cooperate with colleagues in the office and get experiences from them and learn things to help propel my business to perform better for my customer.
Yeah. Like yesterday, we were all in the office, about 40 of us. I don't even know how many there are in it right now, but
Yeah,
I'm going to say about 40 people in the office. And we can hang out and talk all day about strategies, different things, what works, what doesn't work,
yeah,
without feeling threatened that somebody's looking to take my customer.
yeah,
We're not
without,
really wanting to help me, not wanting me to be successful.
yeah,
Want
yeah.
all to be successful.
Yeah, because in the what I call the traditional non-Redfin world,
Yeah,
I'm not going to share my successful tools that
exactly.
I pay for myself
Right.
with someone else in the office because they're a competitor just like someone outside the office.
Exactly.
Whereas with
Yeah.
Redfin, the leverage of Redfin is is they've expensed the time and energy and the production and engineering to create tools and technology by trial and error over time,
Right.
perfected that to the best that it could be for this moment of time, and they've gifted it to us so we
100%.
could use it for our customers. So we all have the same tools, we all use the same technology, we all have the same levers to pull or not to pull. We can use what we need, we can use what we don't need, or whatever. But I think the key is whatever is built to be used in LA or New York or New Jersey or Seattle is also available in West Virginia
Right.
and in Orlando.
And the best part about all of these tools and Redfin being the tech company and all the things that they've done is that our customers benefit from it. Not only do we, it makes our life easier, right? But the benefit to our customers where I can see what my customers are doing online, right? I know what they're searching for. Even if they don't put in a search, I can see it. I know it. I know what they're looking for. And I
Mhm.
can now take that information and better serve the customer.
Yeah, you can recommend things that they may not notice or may not
Right,
see.
right,
You can offer those type of recommendations. Here's another community that is very similar to the one you're looking at.
exactly.
Things like that. Customers can say, 4 houses. Can you set them up for me? In the traditional world, we're telling them, text me the MLS numbers, send me an email of the addresses or whatever. Now you can just go into that search and pull the 4 favorites and set them up.
Pull them, set them up, easy,
So it's
automated, showing
things as
time
simple as
requests,
that. Yeah.
layout, so simple to streamline to give us more time to be out there with the customers, right? So it's so streamlined that I have the time to spend all day Saturday or whatever day it is and out there touring and being face to face with my customers, knowing that our back end is working the way it should work.
Yeah, because in the traditional world, the thought process was you spend 70% of your time getting new customers
Right,
and 30% of your time serving the customers you have.
right.
Because if you don't keep prospecting, you don't get new people. So what's flipped for us is that Redfin has turned themselves into the prospector,
Hmm.
and we're basically the server. So
Right.
now we serve people basically, for me, I serve people like 90% of the time.
Yes, me too.
And
That's
maybe
where I
I
want to
do,
spend my time. I want to spend my time
yeah,
with the people, not
yeah,
sitting here
yeah,
saying, where am I finding the people? And by doing that, we do find the people, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
our leads start off with Redfin, right? So I open up my calendar, there's availability on there, a new customer scheduled a tour, it's now my lead, turns into my customer. That customer then turns into more customers by friends and family and maybe buying
yeah,
and selling, maybe buying multiple homes with me. So they become, if I do the right thing, right?
yes, yeah. If you can give them
They become
success,
my own lead source, basically,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So I think the key is that in our world, the speed process of building your own business goes about 7 times, 8 times faster.
Maybe even faster. So you
Yeah,
know my backstory, but I started, came out of training the end of February in 2022. Market was definitely a lot stronger, but brand new agent, never sold a house before. April, starting in April, I sold 7 homes in the month of April. I continued that year and ended 2022 from April till December with 35 homes. So it was fast training, right? Because in
yeah,
35 homes, you experience a lot of things that a traditional agent might take 10 years to experience the same things that I did in that
yeah,
month period. Then the
yeah,
following year was 45 homes. The third year last year, 55 homes. So we've come across almost everything until
yeah.
something new comes up and you're like, wow, I thought I hit everything. But the training you get from doing it at such a high pace and a fast pace is incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And the problems you experience are incredible, but
Well, yeah, they
the
are.
key is that other people in your circle, your colleague circle that are your friends at work,
Right,
they're at the same volume. So there's a very big chance you could talk to someone at the office and they have actually experienced exactly what you're experiencing. And they
right.
can give you the good and bad of any solutions that could be there or
Yeah,
strategies to solve the problem, things like that. So I think that's the key. Our level of experience goes very fast
right.
and our resource pool is very high. But
Absolutely.
what people don't realize is there is a different sense of joy of life when you don't worry about yourself and you only worry about the customer.
Right, right, exactly. So I can,
Because if I get sick, I have health insurance to help me feel better.
right,
When I go out to show houses or when I go to see customers, Redfin is paying me mileage to help keep my car full so
ab-
I can keep on going, right? Um,
absolutely. So they
they're
pay,
paying my tolls. They're paying my tolls so I can get there quicker than going on the back streets and taking 20, 30 more minutes,
right,
doing more damage to my car, but also burning my time, which is customer time. And then I get paid a fair wage per house based on, how that business comes in. So what people don't realize is the mix of business, the resources, the opportunity to open and close your calendar at your leisure
right.
according to your
Extremely
volume.
flexible, right? Because maybe we wouldn't be able to do these weekly if we weren't so flexible.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly. We could probably do these every day if we were not at Redfin. We'd have so much free time.
Well, yeah, we
Uh,
wouldn't have as many customers, I guess. We could just do videos.
yeah, because I mean, I think you have to remember that, most of us are probably in whatever state we're in at Redfin, we're probably in the top 500 of whatever that state is.
Right. And that's the other thing. So what I find some people consider Redfin a discount brokerage, right? But we're not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, they don't know what, for some people, and some of them are my friends, they don't know what a discount brokerage really is.
right. And we
So a
have
discount
more tools
brokerage,
and more things to share with the customers as far as searches and lending and title company and all the things that Redfin offers one-stop shopping that
yeah.
I'm not getting
Oh,
with
they're not getting anywhere else. And
there's
a
no
true discount brokerage takes services away from the customer
right,
to be able to justify their fee.
right.
We
We add
provide
these services
more. We
and
provide more
at a fixed
than
price.
a 2.5, 3% listing brokerage or whatever it would be,
Right.
right? We're more competitive, and it's just because of our efficiency and our sheer volume.
Right,
That's
that
all
we're
it,
able to do that.
that's all it is. Yeah. And there's not many brokerages on the listing side, when I speak of the listing side,
Yeah.
there's not many that will put their money where their mouth is and say, listen, if you're not happy with me, you can cancel at any time.
Right. Right. Yeah, no fee, no, yeah. But we know they're gonna be happy, so there's that.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
when you were traditional, right? Or if somebody was to get their license today and become a traditional agent, what do you think their cost would be, let's say their first 3 months to get started in the business? We're talking, business cards, MLS, lead
license, yeah, getting your license,
licensing,
taking your tests, all those
all those
things.
things, ballpark figure,
I
buying,
mean, I'd be surprised if somebody didn't spend conservatively $5,000 to $7,000 in their first 3 to 4 months
right.
to try to get things started.
And do you
I
know
mean,
what I know what
MLS
my
alone is,
startup cost was when I started with Redfin? I
well,
think
you got reimbursed for all of
I did this 3 years ago. So what was my startup cost?
it.
Big
Yeah, I
zero.
mean, yeah,
Nothing, nothing. Business cards, computer, leads, MLS, any marketing that I need.
printer, ink,
Oh yeah, printer, ink, paper,
lock boxes,
box.
signs, photos, 3Ds, drones. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah, and
um,
like our quote unquote discount listing fee, right, includes drone videos, YouTube videos, social media videos, Matterport scans. Yeah. And
I
people
mean,
that
it's
are
really,
charging the traditional 3%, you go on their listing, cell phone photos.
yeah, toilet seats
Food.
up, lights off.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, that has to do with experience, you know.
Yeah, part of that's
It's a
experience, and yeah,
combination. Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
still charging that high fee for less of a service, I guess is my
yeah,
point. But
yeah,
literally, I was able to start into real estate with zero out of pocket expense for me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I saw a statistic that most people think real estate is super easy.
Yeah,
You know, you just show a couple houses, you figure out how to fill in some blanks, and then you show up and get your commission check.
and you get that big money,
Um,
right? Yeah,
but out of every 3 to 4 people that get their license that try it, one person is successful and 3 people go inactive or stop paying their dues and get a different job and try to do it on the side.
yeah, and it's not a
So,
part-time job. I mean, unless you're just helping friends and family or yourself.
or you're retired.
Yeah, you need to, if you want to be successful, you need to be, doing this all day, every day, eat, sleep, drink real estate.
Yeah, you gotta make it a professional job.
Right,
There aren't really any strong part-time lawyers I would go to if I was in an accident,
right, right. Yeah.
you know. And I think of, you know, a very important person is a legal representative, a lawyer or an attorney.
Yeah,
Um, but also, what is another huge expense? Real estate,
absolutely.
you
100%.
know, real estate and mortgage.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want a part-time mortgage person.
Right, right. You want
I
somebody
mean, if
experienced.
somebody said, "Hey, I do this on the side. I do 3 deals a year. Let me practice on yours." You know,
Let me operate on
um,
you. I'm practicing one.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, you know, I mean, I teach my sellers the most important things. How many deals has that person done that you're talking to, and did they do them by themselves?
right, right,
Because in the world of teams,
right.
there
Sometimes
is
you see that
becoming a
that number
situation.
looks huge, but it's not them doing.
Yeah, yeah, there is a situation where the person at the top of the funnel is getting credit for transactions that they're not really touching.
Right,
So it looks like they did 100 deals in 12 months when really they did probably 13 deals,
right,
but they had sub agents below them facilitating all the other deals, like
right.
the worker bees. They're
Yeah.
the,
You know
you
what,
know,
honestly, in the traditional way of doing business, 13 deals in a year, not bad. We
it's
see
pretty
people with
average.
zero.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, a top producer is probably averaging 15 to 22,
Right,
23
right. So if
deals
you see somebody
by
doing
themselves.
13, I mean, it's not bad. They're
Yeah,
still not getting the level of experience that we're getting by doing 40, 50, 60 in a year.
yeah, yeah.
But I lost my train of thought, Juan. That doesn't happen much,
But
but I stopped talking.
yeah, well, they're doing 13 or so deals. They think they're full time,
Right.
but they're spending 70% of their time trying to figure out how to get another deal.
Yeah,
We
where's
are
the next
truly
deal
full
coming
time
from?
working
And we think
customers.
that too, like in my head, although I know where it's coming from, but I'm always thinking ahead, like, okay, who's the next person that I'm helping to get to the closing table? Not so
Yeah,
much helping,
yeah,
I'm helping everybody all the time, but who's next? Who's really ready to go and to get to the next step? The
yeah.
other
I think the
great
key
thing, go ahead.
is we don't fear next month or the month after. That is not a fear for us.
Right, right, right.
You know, a fear for us is can we not get the customer the success that they were hoping for?
Of course,
You
right.
know,
Yeah,
is there not inventory that is satisfactory to the customer?
yeah. We want to
Um,
get them to their goal, whatever that next step is, whether it's selling
yeah,
or buying, is a,
yeah,
are we going to be
yeah. I mean, sometimes there's not product out there that's acceptable. Sometimes the financial situation is a little bit complex for the customer to be able
right?
to absorb or try to work around.
Hmm.
Um, but it's funny how when those things happen, the banker doesn't become more creative. We become more creative
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the banker doesn't say, I don't have any other programs. Let me see if I can find some.
right, right.
We go to other bankers to search out different
Yeah, yeah.
programs.
Like, what
Um,
can we do here?
yeah, yeah. So
What's the time?
I
How are
think
we
we're
helping them, or whatever the circumstance is?
yeah,
Their debt to income slightly off. What other program do we have? What can we do?
Yeah, I mean, we have the ability to try to move the needle in
Yeah.
different directions. You
Mhm.
know, Jason always says to me something about, when we think of Redfin, the goal was always to have business in a box, to be able to take a person like you that could be given a toolbox
Right.
and say, here's your box. We're going to help you navigate, but this is where all your tools are.
This is it. Yeah. Use those tools. And they
So
change
you're the
so much, and you
example.
need to be that sponge to absorb all the information and to show up for not just for the customer, for yourself. Show up for those trainings. We have open office hours weekly, right? That I could just
Yeah.
hop on a Google Meet with other members of the team just to see, hey, what's going on. And that's what I did for 3 years. And I still do.
Yeah, we
And
still
I
do.
absorb everything. If you had a problem with it, it's something that I'm learning, I'm keeping that. So if this comes up for me, I know either to call you or I remember the situation and I know what to do. So the
Yeah.
tools that are there in every circumstance, whether it's searching for homes, connecting them with a loan officer, my transaction coordinator to help me with back end paperwork to get them to the closing table, whatever, those tools are all there, but we need to use them
Yeah.
or use the ones that we need, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Service the customer, which is the bottom line, is getting them to where they want to go.
Yeah.
And you know
That's
what?
all
You
it
want to
is.
hear something really funny, Juan? Because we started this video and we said we're going to keep this to 15 minutes. And you said we're going to stop when the clock says 9:20. It now says 9:26, Juan.
So we got to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap this
Um,
up, but this was
yeah, this is a
fun.
simple one, but I think for me, I think what customers see, because I have all the tools,
Yeah,
the technology, the experience, we have a level of confidence,
100%.
not
Yeah,
arrogance,
yeah,
not
no,
arrogance.
no, not at
We have a
all.
level of confidence that when we talk to a customer, we tell them how we're going to work, what our process is, what our product is, and then we don't harass them.
No, no, no,
We
no,
don't we don't chase and hound them
no.
because we know if they need help, we're just a phone call away,
Right.
and we're not bulldogs to our customers, but
I just
we're
want to
pretty
add
aggressive
value
on
to
the other
them.
side. We're pretty aggressive on the other side because we
Right.
know who the other agent is.
Yeah.
And we can either teach them what to tell their customers so we can be successful on our side,
Right.
or we can correct them and help them navigate the transaction because we're humble enough to just get the deal done.
Right. Right. Take care of the customer, add value to the customer, and the customers will always do that.
Yeah. So I think that's it for us today, guys.
All right. Have a good day. I'll talk to you next week,
Thank you,
Juan.
everyone.